Welcome back. So the Liberal leader Justin Trudeau said on Wednesday that his MPs will in fact vote in favor of the Harper government's police state new terrorism laws, even if the government rejects some of the suggestions to improve it. Well, so what changed? Let's ask John Downs. Hello, John Downs.
You think I have a direct vein right into Justin Trudeau's
brain?
Should.
But nonetheless, he's kind of the guy that you would tend to lean more towards. But I think what's come down to is that he disagreed so vehemently with the mission to ISIS that maybe this is a swing back to say, okay, I mean, is this the play that he would have to make to come back?
I find it strange, to be honest. Look, most Canadians...
I don't look at this terror bill as that draconian.
No, I don't think it is. You know, and I think there is the issue of oversight, and I don't think there's a question there. It is a little strange that he was so against the mission against ISIS, because that's something that most Canadians were on board with, where I think most Canadians also have a little bit of trepidation about this bill. Not a ton. You know, I think that most people feel that something is necessary. There is this strange element. You know, is that what it is? Is it window dressing? Is it just there to make us feel safer? Like,
no, because some of the changes, look, I look at it as CSIS is getting some of its own power, but they still have to go through the checks and balances of court. They're not going to have their own special courts with non-judges. They still have to go to a judge to get warrants. So they basically have to go through the steps that the police have to. I'm surprised, quite frankly, that we've had to wait all this time for them to get that power. Because clearly there were a lot of hold-ups, hang-ups, and delays.
There is an element in here, and this is kind of a bit of what the hang-up is. There is an element in here that would allow CSIS to, between ISIS and CSIS, you don't want to mix those ones up, but you to allow them to actually get an exemption from the Charter of Rights and Freedoms for certain circumstances. Now that's a little strange, because you think of our Charter as being absolute as far as our rights and freedoms go, and this is something that was drafted, and it was the baby of Justin Trudeau's dad, essentially, along with Justin. So, you know, that's something that I think people are going to have to wake up to.
But even Mr. Trudeau found himself having to go against charter rights. I mean, he created his own police state when it came to public safety.
Yeah, no, and that did happen. But look, how is this going to play for Justin Trudeau? Politically, it is smart in the way that you can't, if you're the Conservatives now, use this as a wedge issue to say he's soft on terrorism, he's soft on crime, which is something we've heard for a long time. At the same time, however, I think this does position Thomas Mulcair in a pretty good spot, because he can say, look, I'm the one person who was looking out for your charter rights and for
but I think that's a disingenuous argument. Like this,
it could be.
This whole issue of we have to have oversight, like I said, we already have oversight with this bill. I'm not suggesting...
Not civilian oversight, and that's what we're hearing from Thomas Mulcair.
We've seen how civilian oversights work in the past.
Well, you know, at least, you know, if you are looking at this from the perspectives of the NDP, you have civilian oversight in a number of fronts, and there are places where you can make examples. In Toronto, for example, where when we have the G20, we've got one thing that's I'm not sure how it works in the rest of the country, in every city, in every jurisdiction, but when a police officer is involved with some kind of issue where a civilian is injured or killed, it is not really a civilian body that looks into it. No. And that's something that makes people uncomfortable. So I think when you have at least the very least the optics that the general public...
You know as well as I do from dealing with the SIU, which is this outside body that looks into police and civilian...
which is made up by former police officers.
Sure. There's a shield of blue there. So it is only optics. So it's very disingenuous to say, well, we're of course keeping our eye on it because we know, generally speaking, how it works out.
Well, because in the end, it's not really a civilian body. This is a body where it is made up of former police officers. So no, again, this has to be a body that is truly representative of the people of this country, and not former CSIS representatives, former politicians. You know, this has got to be something more akin to
But I feel like the courts will then deal with it, because anything is contestable in this country. You can appeal, it can go to the Supreme Court. Sure, it would muck your life up for a long time and cost you a lot in legal bills, but I don't look at this bill and say, geez, like this is so sweeping that they're going to be netting hundreds of thousands of Canadians because they had an image of ISIS on their screen.
Not from a perspective of being reasonable. However, when it comes to the court, it's not just about being reasonable, it's about being correct under the law of this land.
Sure.
So, you know, Stephen Harper, there are many examples where Stephen Harper's issues or amendments have been brought to the courts and he's lost.
Yeah.
So he's got to balance it out here, even if he's got Justin Trudeau on his side.
Well, they did pull back on the life means life legislation.
They did.
Because they realized, okay, this is not going to pass the test, and it will get sent up to the Supreme Court. It's challengeable.
Well, and that I guess is what's good about this, in the sense that as far as this bill goes, the fact that Justin Trudeau is willing to say, okay, this is what's right for Canadians. This is what we have to do to keep Canadians safe.
So Harper could pull the move by saying, fine, we'll put oversight in, and then what argument does Mulcair have to sit back on?
Not much. And to be quite frank, I don't know if that is going to be enough. Is it a disingenuous argument to come forward as Thomas Mulcair? It's the one thing it's the one feather he has in his cap at this moment, because he could say Justin Trudeau's rolling over. But when it comes to most Canadians, we've seen the polls. Most Canadians feel that this is a fight worth fighting, and they are okay with this bill in some form.
Well, when Mr. Trudeau said that he would support this legislation, although he did say he would make some changes to it if he was elected, he was very quick to come up with a but, and here's his but.
I want to affirm again to our friends and fellow citizens in the Muslim community that Canadians know that recent acts of terror committed in the name of Islam are an aberration of your faith.
Really? Where in this terror law does it say all Muslims will be scrutinized and held to account? Like, this to me is so political, and I don't know, well, I do know because it's a huge voting base for the Liberal Party, but I don't understand the need for this.
I think he's just playing off the back and forth between Stephen Harper and Thomas Mulcair.
Well, what? Because Stephen Harper made how silly of him to point out that there may be radicalization taking place in mosques. I mean, he is so off base there.
But keep in mind, this is Justin Trudeau's message to Muslim Canadians, and as to whether or not
he's
they
driving
feel
a
like
false narrative.
Well, not necessarily. I don't think there's anything there that he said that wasn't necessarily true.
Well, have the Muslim community even been that alienated in this country? Are we seeing mosques being attacked on a daily basis? No more than any synagogue.
But he has to take a position, whether or not it's a clear position, that's a good question, but he has to take a position that sits somewhere. And again, I don't know whether or not he at all disagrees with anything that Stephen Harper said. And quite frankly, he avoided...
No, he's pandering to a base.
Which base, though?
Muslim.
Or is it, but not the Muslim base? And again, we've talked about who the people were who came out of the woodwork to oppose what Stephen Harper said.
One of those organizations which has questionable ties, according to critics, to CARE. Which
I would say Justin Trudeau's rolling over. By no means.
No, but he's definitely pandering. There was absolutely no need to even bring this dialogue into it, because nowhere in this legislation does it say, by the way, we are going to be zeroing in on all Muslims because all Muslims are clearly questionable and radicalizing.
From a political perspective, it just seems like a smart thing to do.
I don't know if it's smart. I think it's very disingenuous.
Well, is it going to hurt his positioning with the Muslim community in Canada? It just says, look, I've got an eye out for you.
Well, did he say anything to the Jews? Because, they're the ones that want to be, killed off by, ISIS and all the rest. I mean, is he so concerned about the Jews? Because he might want to say something to them. And the Christians haven't been all that well treated by ISIS, too. They're getting bludgeoned to do. So if you want to take the argument that I need to make sure that the Muslim community feels very included, you better say that to the Jewish community who's been, wanting to be killed off. And the rest
Not in this country, though. Well, look, you got to admit there is a little bit of blowback. If you're a Muslim in Canada right now,
there's not.
I don't know about that.
There is not.
I think there's public scrutiny.
When Hamas
and
Israel collided in the last war a couple of months ago, you saw swastikas starting to. You see anti-Semitism up all over the world right now. Europe, it has gone up substantially. I don't see the hashtags for that. Where's the "I'll ride with you, Jews"? I don't see it.
Well, again, maybe that in terms of what's going on in our country itself. Look, even I have said in the past, this is a time for Muslims in Canada to really reevaluate their relationship with their God.
Sure.
Not just that, but I think you got to reevaluate whether or not this is a religion that you really should continue to practice.
ISIS, is that your representative? You're either with them or you're not. And so, interesting. And that's an argument, though, for another day.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yes, we will.